Hello Capricorn, this is Carrie from Celestial Forecasts with your love and life reading focused on the second half of November from the 16th all the way through the 30th. General as always, please keep that in mind throughout this reading. Take from it what makes sense for you and release the rest. So I'm going to be starting with these decks here. Both of these decks, the Golden Dahlia and the Grande Amore deck, created by La Belle Anima 13, and this one is my self-created one, the Shadows and Secrets deck. So let's dive into your person's energies at this time, whoever it is that you are thinking about at the time of this reading, that you are listening to it. What are the energies that need to come through for this reading when it comes to your person? Let's grab some cards. Let's see what will come through here. What are their energies? Angels and spirit guides, please, for Capricorn. We've got shadow work that needs to be done at this time, which makes sense that this is actually the next message. Look at that. We have healing, because through shadow work that will definitely create healing for your person. If this is something also that you're able to relate to for yourself, maybe during this time, this is something that you could both focus on because it's coming through as current energies. And then we have resilience coming through here. I definitely pick up off of that vibe for you, Capricorn, that you are a resilient individual. No matter what life hands you, you always are able to dust yourself off and get up and just move on, you know? And maybe this is the type of person that you are connecting with as well. So let's take a look and see what needs to come through with tarot. I'm going to pull from my Illuminated Star Tarot deck here. So current energies for this connection. There's this need to create healing through shadow work, to be able to heal those behaviors, especially if there has been any sort of emotional wounds, self-sabotage, blockages that have been created. For either person, really. And just the overall connection itself needs healing, perhaps. This is telling me, too, that you guys have been through some rough patches in your relationship. I'm just getting that for some of you guys that relate to this. But your connection with each other, it's still standing despite all of the roadblocks that you guys might have encountered. So you guys are actually two very strong, wow, two very strong people. And then we've got the Strength card right here. We've got the Page of Swords and then the Nine of Wands. How interesting are these cards, guys? We've got resilience and then we've got the Nine of Wands, which is about resilience. No wonder these cards are presenting itself in this way, because there's definitely shadow work and healing. All of these cards coming through makes sense for me, Capricorn. This hasn't been an easy journey for you. It hasn't been an easy journey for the other person either. This connection and just life itself has really tested the two of you. It really has. It really has tested you both. Some of you could be dealing with a Leo specifically. And you know, sometimes when we go through this journey of doing our shadow work, it causes us to sometimes doubt our progress and to really focus on our weaknesses. And therefore, that makes sense for me that the Strength card is coming through, because you need to be able to dig deep to be able to find the courage within yourself, that inner strength to overcome the challenges. Because with that Nine of Wands, this is someone who's been wounded by life's experiences, whether it's romantic partnerships that didn't work out or just life overall, just beating down on this person, or you, Capricorn, or both of you. So I feel you guys just understand each other because you've been maybe through similar journeys here. If you guys are at a distance from one another, your person wants to communicate. It could also be you that wants to communicate with them. There's this need to move forward. But maybe right now is not the right time, especially if there's more healing that needs to take place here. The Knight of Swords is someone, as you can see, someone who's very action-oriented, very impulsive. We've got 2 air energies represented here, so I'm picking up more so divine masculine energy from the Page of Swords and Knight of Swords. Whoever represents the masculine in this partnership, coming through as someone who's very restless, very impulsive. They want to fix this already. They want to get this going, but you cannot rush healing. Healing takes time. You know, it's like you've got this huge wound that needs to be healed. And it's not like you could just put a band-aid on it and say, okay, I'm good. You know, it doesn't hurt anymore. But no, this is one of those situations where you guys have been through some major challenges in the partnership, I feel. But as you can see here, resilience from 2 of these cards coming through in that way. It's like going through a battle, but you're still standing. You've been through it, but you're still standing. We do have the Knight of Cups here, which is someone who's very romantic. So even though you've been through some struggles in the partnership, I feel, and just struggles in your life overall, this is what you're hoping for, is to, especially my masculines, to be able to approach your feminine with loving intentions, as it says, and to be able to bring the romance back. 9 of Cups, satisfaction, living a life where you're content and happy with the choices you've made, with the decisions that you've made, for wishes to come true. So if you're not feeling emotionally stable right now, Capricorn, that's because there's more healing that needs to happen here. Perhaps doing your shadow work, that's something that you can relate to, and your person as well, the person that you're thinking about. So wish fulfillment is not an impossible thing, but it's going to take some time for those wishes to come true. I'm just getting that for the collective here, for whoever resonates with that. Yeah, look at that, see? You've got the Death card. Some of you could also be dealing with a Scorpio. So something between you and your person either needs to come to an end because there might be something toxic or unhealthy going on there, or it already has. And so, depending on where you're at on this journey, you're transitioning away from the drama, the stresses, the obstacles, the struggles, whatever that might be. Because as heavy as this can be, it makes room for change. Better changes. Better days ahead. The 2 of you working together. It really does take teamwork here for you and this person. Divine Feminine, you're coming in as the Empress, okay? Some of you could already have children with your masculine here. Does represent motherhood, or it can. Femininity, of course, Divine Feminine here. You have to recognize the beauty that you have, not just on the outside, but on the inside as well. And it's a very important time for my feminines to be very nurturing with yourself. If you're feeling weak, if you're feeling vulnerable, if you're feeling like you just really need time to yourself to continue on your healing journey, then feel empowered through your Empress energy here. And you guys are being offered another opportunity to be able to grow individually as well as together. Okay, so that's what's presenting itself there. Let's take a look at some additional messages here. I'm going to go ahead and pull a couple cards from my Shadows and Secrets deck, taking a look at the darker shades of love and relationships. So looking at the challenges for sure. And then we'll add to that a couple cards from the Grande Amore deck to balance things out a little bit. So let's take a look and see, Capricorn. What would they want to do differently if they could? And that perhaps is something that you need to ask yourself also. What would you do differently if you had the opportunity to do so? Because with that Ace of Wands, you are being given another chance for things to grow between you and your person here. All right, so what can be done differently? What was the challenge, first of all? Broken vows. Okay. Some of you guys could have been married, but that doesn't have to be for the collective. If you weren't married, then this could simply be an indication that there was a commitment, promises made, vows that were made that were not kept. And it does say doesn't keep promises, unable to commit to a long-term relationship, phobia towards marriage, unfaithful, untrustworthy. So that was definitely a problem. So what would they do differently this time is to make sure that they're fully invested, whatever vows and promises they made, that they actually keep them. If there were infidelities in the partnership, that's something that they would want to avoid moving forward. That's what they would do differently. Let's grab another challenge here. Another shadow. Take this if it applies. It does say prejudiced, okay? Unable to look past your racial, religious, political, social differences. Too many hang-ups about appearances, a bigot, narrow-minded, intolerant of other cultures, unfair judgment. That's a pretty heavy thing to be dealing with, okay? So again, it's not going to apply to everybody. Just take it if it makes sense for your situation. Let's grab a couple cards from the Grande Amore deck. The Great Love Oracle. Angels and spirit guides, please, for Capricorn. Life partner, growing old together. Okay, you see, this is definitely what they would want to change, because through these broken vows, it contradicts what it is that they wanted. If they want you to be a life partner, then they need to be able to keep their promises and to not break their vows. This is interesting as well that we have yin and yang, feminine and masculine energy, balance and harmony. Okay, this is two people who really fit each other very well. And if they were prejudiced in any way, if they allowed that to cloud their judgment and good decision making, then this is something that they would definitely want to change if they want to be able to bring harmony back into the relationship. All right, so let's go ahead and clarify that. I'm going to pull from my Luna Tarot. Angels and spirit guides, please, for Capricorn, for this love and life reading, second half of November. So we have a couple of reverse cards here, which is the Hierophant. Okay, so this is in the upright, commitment. And then we have the Devil, temptations. Okay, so both of these coming up in the reverse, which is actually a good thing, especially with the Devil card, because this represents addictive behavior, unhealthy attachments, temptations, as you can see here. So they really are wanting to create change, I feel. Now with the Hierophant in the reverse, this is somebody I feel who wants to take a new approach towards things, which that's actually a good thing, because we're focusing on what it is that they would want to change if they could. So they know that they came through with this type of energy. They broke those promises. It does represent broken vows here, that you could maybe not trust them before, and they weren't interested in long-term commitment. Okay, and that represents also why the Hierophant is coming up in reverse, because in the upright, that represents the commitment. But it's coming up in the reverse, and it makes sense for me that it's right next to broken vows. And this is actually quite fitting that we have the Devil in reverse, because this represents freedom. Freedom from prejudices, freedom from this type of mentality. Someone who was bigoted before, they know that they cannot be narrow-minded moving forward in this partnership. It's not going to work. It's really not going to work. So we have the Page of Swords and the King of Pentacles. Okay, so there is this element of curiosity with the Page of Swords, which we've already seen that came through earlier. They are curious, are you still open to the fact that they see you as a potential life partner here? Would you still want to grow old together? And we do have this King of Pentacles, representing a divine masculine perhaps, who's financially well off. They're doing great in that regard. And this is someone who is clearly ready to commit. Okay, right here, there were some challenges with commitment. And what it is that they would want to do differently is to come towards you, Divine Feminine, as this King of Pentacles, someone who's looking for a very long-lasting partnership. They want to be there for you forever, a life partner, growing old together. That's exactly what it is that this King of Pentacles can manifest. We have the Judgment card. We have the Wheel of Fortune. We have the Ace of Cups. All amazing cards, guys. Okay, because I feel through your person's revelations of what it is that they have learned about themselves through past actions, I feel with the Judgment card coming through here, they've really had the opportunity to take a look at how they were with you before, taking a look at the past and what that was like, taking a look at where they're at now. And I feel, because you're not a part of their life at this point in time, they're really feeling it. They miss you, they think about you, they want you as a life partner. There's so much that they would want to change here between the two of you. And it's possible because things are turning around in this connection. With the energy of the Wheel of Fortune, things are moving in the right direction finally. Giving you guys a new beginning with that Ace of Cups. A new start, a fresh start, a new beginning when it comes to your love life, when it comes to this love connection. And I really feel they want a reunion. They want to be able to revive this partnership. They want a second chance. Okay, so that is where I'm going to leave this first part of this reading, Capricorn. If you'd like to listen to the second part of it, we're going to dig a little bit deeper into this connection on my Patreon page. And I will, of course, include all of that information down below in the description box. If you're interested in your own personal private reading, that info is down below as well. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next reading. Take care.